I finally made it to the river, and this is what I find. It is very high and very muddy, but that's okay. See, usually there's rocks there, and there's rocks all out through there. And there's rocks that come back this way, and they go up there, and there's usually a big old pool right there. Yeah, the water's high. That's a little creek right there. The water's real high. It's got to be at least a couple feet high. At least. So there it is. Usually I like to bass fish right here when I first get in, but since the water's high, I think I'm going to use it to my advantage and get on downstream and go to a catfish hole. We should be able to boogie with the water this high. Get on downstream and we'll start by doing some catfishing, hopefully by this afternoon. We are in the water. Yes. Finally. Oh my God. Finally. So, I just talked to an old guy, and he said he was down here yesterday and caught 100 pounds of catfish. He said he was down here about a week ago and caught like 400 pounds of catfish. So, there's catfish in here. He was catching them on cut bait. So the name of the game right now is going to be catch a brim. I tied on a little white rooster tail. And this is my little rod. It's a 7-foot ultralight with a little light spinning reel, 6-pound fluorocarbon. I like it. I didn't like it at first because I thought it was too long, but I've learned to love it. But the name of the game is going to be find a brim, which is going to be real tough since this water's high. I'm just going to head on down the river here, and we're going to start looking for little pockets or any kind of little water where it looks like they can get in and be safe, get out of the current. It's still a little cold, low 60s when I checked it, but with it being so high, I'd be willing to bet it's a little cooler than even low 60s. So that's the water temperature, by the way, not the air. It's damn near 80 right now. It is beautiful out here. So we're going down the river. Hopefully we can find some brim, catch some big old catfish. That's what we're gonna work on today. So I found my way back up in this little creek here. I'm gonna throw the rooster tail some, and if I don't have any luck with that, then I'm going to get out of the boat and go try to find some kind of critter I think a brim would like to eat. And that's the plan. The wind is pretty stiff. I mean, the conditions out here are really like the opposite of what you look for them to be. The water's high and muddy. It's a stiff wind out of the south, which makes it hard to steer the boat. Even with the high water, you get to moving, but that wind will slow you down a lot. And there was times whenever it would really pick up that I was sitting still. So, but this creek bottom in here is really pretty, and I've done come a good 75 yards out of the river up this creek, and it's just stiff. It's way quieter in here. The wind is nowhere near as bad in here. So we're gonna try to fish. It looks like it's pretty good water too. It looks like it's got, you know, a little bit of mass to it. So let's see if we can catch something. What do you say? Here we go. Well, give you an update. I only had to roll over a couple of rotten logs, and I was able to get some worms, and tied on a tiny little hook and a bobber. And it's still kind of tough to find some brim. This is the size of worms that I found. They're really little. But I did catch one, caught one brim. So we will. Now let me explain. I prefer to use them alive for catfish. But since they seem so hard to come by today, then we will cut him up. And that way we can have a few baits instead of just one. Now, if I happen to catch a couple more, then we're going to figure out a way to keep them alive. And that way I can run a live one, let him swim around down there. Big blue catfish are predators. They're not scavengers like most catfish. They do scavenge, but they will eat a live brim in a heartbeat. They will eat a live crawdad in a heartbeat. I've caught them bass fishing. So I figure it's always best to run a live brim. I just feel better about it. So that's where we are. On the way out of this creek, I'm going to try and catch one or two more. That would be excellent. And let's see what happens here. Well, the word for this afternoon is wind. And there is a lot of it. But you look behind me there, the river splits. Now, I had planned on camping. The split in the river makes two islands. The first one is pretty short. The second one is a couple of miles long, and it's all the way down on the other end where I intend to camp tonight. Well, when I saw the water level when I got in the river, I thought we'd make it past there to the catfish hole. There's a real good catfish hole right after that. And, well, it don't look like we're gonna make it there. I have been fighting this wind. I'm exhausted. I'm taking a little break right now, and half the time the current carries me down, half the time the wind pushes me up. All in all, I'm staying in one spot. So, canoe's tough to steer, way too windy to fish, can't even get a good cast. So, we're gonna make it to the camping spot, and in the morning, we're gonna take our little brim that we caught earlier and catch a catfish. Hopefully that's the way it's gonna work out. Finally made it. Here I am. I am exhausted. This wind today was really something. So I'm gonna camp here tonight, eat a little grub, get some rest, get back at it first thing in the morning. So to recap the first day, I got a workout and I caught one brim, and that's it. I was really hoping for a little more out of the day, but we'll take what we can get. And you know, they say a bad day fishing is better than a good day working, and I think we proved that today, because it sucked, but man, I am happy to be here. So there it is. Good night, boys and girls.